Trump has stated objectives which have shifted from language that hinted at regime change to a narrower focus on nuclear and missile threats. How is the White House explaining these changing goals behind the scenes?
Yeah, so on the one hand, we heard him reiterate some of the goals they've been talking about, the military ones specifically. So, for instance, that the U.S. is aiming to destroy Iran's ballistic missiles capability. It's aiming to destroy Iran's nuclear program. Those are long-standing goals that he reiterated. A couple of other things he mentioned, for instance, annihilate Iran's navy. Not really clear what that means or how they intend to do that. And then in terms of the regime change, it seems to have shifted. And we heard this across the board, not just from Trump, but we heard it from Pete Hegseth, who spoke today, the Secretary of Defense, as well as Marco Rubio, the Secretary of State, all underplaying this whole concept of regime change. Now they're saying that basically, you know, if the Iranians want to use this opportunity to change regimes, great, good power to them, but basically distancing themselves from their own involvement. The question about that, though, is if the U.S. is concerned about, you know, the way the regime had come after the Americans, and that was one of the reasons that they were going into this war because of this Iranian threat from the regime, you would think that they would want to see what comes out on the other end, but they seem like they're just fully distancing themselves for it. It might be because they understand that's going to be a much more protracted, much longer war if they do get into something like that. And also, as we've seen through history, through Iraq and Afghanistan, you know, regime changes don't go down well.
The Secretary of State said the threat to the U.S. was imminent.
We knew that there was going to be an Israeli action. We knew that that would precipitate an attack against American forces. And we knew that if we didn't preemptively go after them before they launched those attacks, we would suffer higher casualties and perhaps even higher those killed.
That didn't convince everyone.
There was no imminent threat to the United States of America by the Iranians. There was a threat to Israel. We equate a threat to Israel as the equivalent of an imminent threat to the United States, then we are in uncharted territory.